Hello everyone, this is Waterfall Joe and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have an exciting new addition to the camera bag. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you've probably heard me mention this lens once or twice before. It's a lens I've been so excited about. I've read all the reviews. I'm so excited to finally have my own. This is the omsystem 40-150 f4 Pro. And in my opinion, it's one of the best and most travel-friendly telephoto lenses available. Let's dive in. So when you think of telephoto, you probably think big, heavy, expensive, not really easy to travel the world with, and most of them are quite large. But omsystem did something really cool with this. This is a telephoto lens, and it's about the same size as a mid-range lens. I am blown away by the engineering behind this, and I'm so impressed, and I'm eager to get into it. So let's talk about the basic specs and tech details, and then we'll dive more in. So this lens came out in February of 2022 for a price of $899 USD. It weighs 382 grams. Let me just let that settle for a second. This is a telephoto that weighs 382 grams. That's incredible. It uses 62 millimeter filters. This is a Pro line lens, and just like all other omsystem Pro line lenses, it's the best quality, the best build quality, best glass. It's fully weather sealed. It's the real deal. It comes in at only 3.9 inches tall. Now that is great. So omsystem actually has three different 40-150s to choose from. You have the 40-150 2.8, which is their top dog, the big one. This is the one for sports action. It accepts teleconverters. Now that lens is quite large, and in my opinion, I don't think it's as travel friendly as this lens. Then you have the f4 version, which is what we have here. Now this one does not accept teleconverters, and it is an f4 all the way through, where that 2.8 is a 2.8. So if you value the low light, that lens is going to be a great choice for you. Now this lens, on the other hand, is much more compact. I don't have the two side by side, but I'll put a photo on the screen for you. You can see that the 2.8 is double the height and almost double the weight of this version. So unless you absolutely have to have the 2.8 for low light, I think the f4 is a much better alternative for those who do traveling and landscapes and may not need such a massive lens. And then the final lens you have is the 40-150 with the variable aperture that retails for about $200. Now this lens is a lot more compact. It is not a Pro line like the other two are, so it's more casual shooter based. If you just want a small travel lens and you're not too worried about having the best of the best, then this lens is a great option for you. It does not have weather sealing, and it is a plastic build, where the other two are both weather sealed and a metal build. So those are things to consider when you're looking for a telephoto from omsystem. So omsystem is doing something really cool lately, where they actually have 4 zoom lenses that all share an f4 aperture. You have the 8-25 f4, you have the 12-45 f4, you have the 12-100 f4, and you also have the 40-150 f4. All of these are weather sealed. They're Pro glass, so the best build quality, full metal lenses. None of them have stabilization except for the 12-100, which does feature the dual IS, which makes it one of the best travel lenses you can get. For me personally, I love my 12-40, and I love having a second option, so I actually went the 12-40, 40-150 route. But if you're looking for just one and done, that 12-100 is a great option. So I actually just picked this lens up last week, and I actually got the chance to go down to the beach and take some photos. I'll put them here on the screen for you guys to look through. On my first use of this lens, I can't describe how incredible it was to just have a lens of this size and be able to get in full frame equivalent an 80-300 equivalent. This little lens here, I was able to get a 300 millimeter equivalent in full frame. I was actually able to get some birds on the beach, which I never thought I could do with a lens of this size. So here I have it mounted on my OM1 Mark II just to show you the size here. This is an incredible size for a telephoto lens. Now, some of my favorite features of this lens are the fact that it is fully weather sealed, so when mounted on a weather sealed body, you can pretty much take it anywhere, do anything you want with it. You don't have to worry about a thing. My personal favorite feature of this lens is the fact that it collapses in for when you're not using it, so it's the storage mode. So right now, it actually cannot be used. It's in its storage mode, but whenever you're ready, you can just open it up and now you're ready to go. And this is where it gets really interesting. From 40 to 150, the size of the lens does not change. I don't know if I've seen that before on a lot of lenses. So there's its stored mode, and now it's in its shooting mode. And regardless of what millimeter you shoot at, this does not extend out anymore. I think that's really neat. I think that's a great innovation. I haven't really seen that from a lot of other companies, you know. Some lenses do collapse in, but when you zoom them, they get longer and longer. omsystem did something really neat where it just, that's it. So this is its ready to go, ready to shoot mode, and then you can collapse it whenever it's going back in your bag. I titled this video that this is a pocket telephoto lens, and I'll put the little clip of it here. I was able to fit this in my jacket pocket. Now, of course, this isn't a point and shoot. This isn't a little tiny digital camera. This is a larger lens, but yes, if you have a larger jacket pocket, you absolutely can walk around with this in your pocket. If you're looking for a one and done lens for birds, for wildlife, if you're just going to the park and you know you're photographing things that are far away, I think this is an absolutely worthwhile lens to consider. So who is this lens best for? So if you're someone like myself who kind of does a lot of traveling and you want to keep it lightweight, this lens is excellent for you. As I mentioned before, in full frame equivalent, this lens is equal to an 80 to 300. Now that is very far away and especially impressive considering the size of this lens. If you're looking to do any birds, wildlife, landscapes, if you're traveling and you need a telephoto to take with you, this is the perfect lens for you. Now, who is this lens not for? So if you are photographing indoor sports, anything in low light, concerts, sports, weddings, family, you're probably going to want to get the 40 to 150 f2.8, which gives you an extra stop of light compared to this lens. Now, unfortunately, I don't have one here to compare, but I have held that lens and it is significantly larger than this. It does even feature a tripod collar because it is that large. That lens comes in at over 800 grams, where this lens comes in at 382 grams. For me personally, as a traveler, I value the size much more than I value the 2.8. And the best part is you're not losing any image quality going from the 2.8 to the 4. This is a pro line lens. It is just as good as the 2.8. So in my opinion, if you need the extra low light, or if you like the ability to use teleconverters, then the 2.8 is a better suit for you. But if you're looking to do traveling and keep it lightweight, I don't know if it gets much more compact and travel friendly than this. So where does this lens stand in my personal lineup? So as you know, I already have the 12 to 40 f2.8. And this is such an excellent, great mid-range lens. I use it for pretty much everything unless I'm doing waterfalls. And that's where I switch over to my Panasonic 9mm. Now this is my wide angle of choice. I use it for waterfalls. Next month, we're actually going to New Mexico to do some Milky Way, so I will be using this for that. So I have the 9mm 1.7 as my wide angle, the 12 to 40 as my mid-range, and now I have my 40 to 150 as my telephoto. This lens also has me interested in something that I haven't really done much of before, and that's minimalism. Now, I've never mentioned this before on this channel, but it's something that I've always wanted to get into. I've always been intrigued by super up-close photos of architecture, of textures on the ground, of patterns. It's something I never really photographed much, but when I was at the beach a few days ago, walking around with this, I found that I was actually looking down at the ground quite a lot and just looking for textures that you don't normally see when using, say, like a wide-angle lens. So I have a feeling I'm going to be taking this lens to a lot of places and just looking for up-close textures that I wouldn't normally see. So for me personally, of course, we're going to be getting some birds with it. We're going to be getting some landscapes with it. But I think I'm going to be trying some new abstract stuff that I've never done before. So that's enough talking here in the office. I think we're going to take this lens, we're going to go to my local park, and we're going to take some photos with it, see what I can find, maybe see some birds, get some up-close textures. So I will meet you guys at the park. I'll see you there. Okay everyone, I just had a really embarrassing technical difficulty. I filmed an entire video walking around Wadsworth Falls. This microphone was on, but my transmitter was not on. So I have all of this footage of me talking and no audio. So I'm not gonna do all of that again. I will put some clips in for you, but essentially I've just been walking around talking for 20 minutes about how much I love this lens, and you can't hear any of it. But essentially what I was saying was, if you're looking for a great travel lens and a great compact size, I don't know if it gets much better than this. When I used to shoot full frame, I had a 70 to 200 2.8, and I would take it with me everywhere. But it was so heavy that I would use it and then want to put it away immediately. With this lens, I just find myself walking around here, snapping images. It doesn't weigh much at all. It's just so convenient just to walk around here and take photos. This lens is really bringing out the minimalism in me. You know, I'm having so much fun looking for up close textures, especially here on this river. The white water crashing against the rocks. I'm gonna put all the images on the screen for you guys, but I'm really enjoying just walking around with this lens. I don't often do a lot of telephoto, so it's been a great day, great time using this. Okay, so now we're at the bottom of the waterfall. Once again, this is Wadsworth Falls here in Connecticut. One of my favorite waterfalls. If you've seen the channel, you know I love this place. I hope this is one of my last videos I'll be recording with the dead colors. Hopefully in the next few weeks we'll start getting some spring foliage. I can take the jacket off and finally embrace spring, you know. Anyways, we're out here with the 40 to 150. Excellent spot here. I'm actually way back. We're gonna get some telephoto shots of the waterfall all the way back here. I am gonna be using live ND. If you know, I love the live ND on this. I'm able to get like a half second, 1 second handheld long exposure without any additional filters except, you know, I like to use my polarizer, of course. So let's go ahead and do it. So here's a photo at 40 millimeters, and then we can zoom all the way into 150 millimeters. You can see we have some crazy details up there. I'm having so much fun with this lens. It's kind of made me change the way that I view the landscapes. Instead of looking at the entire picture, I'm kind of now looking for up close textures and everything. Like right down here, we have the stream where the water crashes over these rocks. You know, without this lens, with like a wide angle, you know, you don't look for that kind of stuff. But now with the 40 to 150, I'm now really interested in getting those up close detail photos. Another feature I really love of this lens is it uses the same size filters as the 12 to 40 2.8 Pro, which is 62 millimeter. So if you already have filters for that lens, they're going to carry over right over to this lens. You don't have to get a new filter set. Now, none of the 40 to 150 OM lenses have image stabilization. This one, the 2.8 or the $200 one, they do rely on the camera stabilization. Now that being said, that's no problem at all because my OM1 Mark II, it's over 8 stops of IBIS. I'm able to get over 1 second handheld with no tripod. That means that this is a telephoto that you can probably leave your tripod at home and travel with just the lens by itself. That's really convenient for traveling, and once again kind of locks this lens in as one of the best telephoto lenses for travel. Okay, so one of the objectives of the day was to get a bird with this, and we have a bird right here. Now, I'm gonna put the photo on the screen. I am no bird expert, so all of you bird experts, please let us know what this is in the comments below. It's right here on this branch. You know, I'm not much of a dedicated bird guy. I do love to photograph them. Oh, here, there he goes. I couldn't tell you anything about them though. If I was into the birds, I would probably get the 40 to 150 2.8 with a teleconverter. You know, that is a significantly larger setup than this, but for a casual bird photographer like myself, I think the 40 to 150 f4 is an excellent choice. Okay, so would I recommend that you get the 40 to 150 f4? My answer is, depending on what your photography style is, if you're a low light sports action shooter, I do believe the 2.8 would be better suited for you. Now, if you're looking for a travel lens and you like to do the occasional birds, I think the 40 to 150 f4 is an excellent choice. And if you're just looking for a nice telephoto overall for your OM system camera, I really don't know if it gets much nicer than this. If you compare the price, the quality of this lens, and the size, it's a pretty much all-around winner in my opinion. So we're gonna wrap up the video there, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a mix of waterfalls, landscapes, and occasional birds. We had a little technical difficulty with the audio, but I did my best to make up for it. So thanks so much for watching. This is Waterfall Joe. I'll see you in the next one.